This is Angel's Calendar tab, and in Module 3 you're going to learn how to configure your assignments so that they appear automatically on this calendar and students can link to those assignments right from the calendar. In this module, however, I'm going to show you only how to make manual entries to the calendar. First, you can change the way the calendar looks by clicking the hyperlinks next to Format and View. In other words, you can change this grid to a list by clicking List, back to Grid. You can change the view from monthly to weekly or daily or yearly by clicking these hyperlinks. Let's go back to month. You can navigate forwards and backwards in the calendar by clicking Previous and Next. To manually add an event to the calendar, you simply click the day. Let's say we want to add something to Friday, July 20th. We click 20. And let's say that we want to add a makeup test reminder. We'll call it Makeup Test. Next to User, you decide who should see this calendar event. If you want everyone to see it, then you leave the default Everyone display. But if you just want one student to see it, you would click this arrow and choose the student that you want to see this event. We'll leave it at Everyone. You can change the category from Appointment to something else if you choose. We'll choose Reminder. You can put your contact information, such as your email address or your phone number, in the contact block. If the event involves students going somewhere, you might put a campus or a building or a room number next to location. In the notes block, you can give students instructions, or you can provide a link to a content item in lessons by clicking this button, and when students click the link, they will go directly to that content item. You can provide a password, but I would use caution here because that involves an extra step for you. You'll have to give students the password, and there's an easier way to filter who sees your calendar events simply by choosing a particular student next to User. However, if you want 2 or 3 students to see the event but not other students, then you might have to use a password, since next to User you can only select one person. Let's say you want 3 people to see something. Then you would give those 3 people a password so that only they would have access to that event. Under Date and Time Settings, the date that you clicked on the calendar when you began creating this event displays next to Date. You can put a time in here if you want to. Let's say that your makeup test will be given at 1 p.m. You can choose that here, and if it's a 1-hour test, you would put that here so that students can see this information. When you're finished, you click Save. And your event now appears on the calendar. If you hover your cursor over the event link, you have the option of editing or deleting it, and you can see the information that you provided when you created this event. When students hover their cursor over the link, this is the student view of the calendar. Of course, they don't see the edit and delete options. They simply see the information that you have provided. If they click the link, the information appears on a separate page. And if they click the date link, it will bring them right back to the calendar. And if you have provided content links, they will see them here and they can click them and go directly to your content items. Let's create an item that only one student can see. Let's say that you have set up a meeting on July 24th to go over a test with a student. You click the 24th. Let's call this a meeting. We don't want everyone to see this. We only want one student to see it. Let's choose student 6. And we can keep the word appointment in there, or you can choose something else from this list. You might want to choose meeting. Again, your contact location and notes can be filled in. Let's give this student some brief instructions. Under Date and Time Settings, the date that you chose when you created this item displays. Let's change the time to 1 p.m. and we can save this. Now remember, we chose only one student, student 6, next to User. So only that student and you will be able to see that meeting link on the calendar. Let's say that you want to add an event that happens more than once. For example, office hours. Let's say you want to add office hours to the calendar to remind students when you have office hours. You click the first date that you want to establish office hours. Let's say you want to establish them every Monday and Wednesday, and you want them to start on July 16th. You give it a title, Office Hours. We want everyone to see this. We will call it an appointment. You might want to put your contact and location in here. Any links or information or instructions you want to give students will go in Notes. Next to date, the date that your office hours begin displays. Under Time, you choose the time your office hours begin. Let's say they begin at 2 in the afternoon. If they go to 4, you would choose 2 hours for your duration. Now, you don't want office hours to display only on July 16th, so you click Recurrence. Now you have the option of changing the beginning date, but we'll leave it July 16th. And now you have to tell Angel when you want those office hours to stop. Let's choose August 30th. And we'll leave the time at 2 and the duration at 2 hours. Now you tell Angel under interval settings how often you want this to occur. Let's say that you want them to occur weekly between July 16th and August 30th, and you want them to occur on Mondays and Wednesdays. Mondays is checked. Let's also check Wednesdays. And we want this to happen every week. Now we save this. And notice that on our calendar, on every Monday and every Wednesday in July, we have office hours at 2 p.m. If we advance by clicking Next to August, the office hours also appear every Monday and every Wednesday for August. Let's say that you want to change your office hours on one particular day. Let's say August 8th, you can't meet your students at 2 p.m. You hover your cursor over the office hours link, click Edit, and now make your change. We want office hours on this day to be at 4 p.m. for a 1-hour interval. Now you have to tell Angel what this change applies to. This occurrence only, or all unmodified occurrences, which mean every calendar event that you have not made any changes to, or all occurrences for this event called office hours. We want it to apply only to this particular occurrence, so we'll save it. And notice that our office hours are at 2 p.m. every day except August 8th. They're at 4 p.m. on that day. And if students hover over that link, they will see that they are from 4 to 5 p.m. On the 22nd and every other day, they are from 2 to 4 p.m. And you controlled that by inputting a time and a duration. Let's say that you don't want these office hours to be recurring. You just want to set them up for one day. That's very easy to do. You don't have to click each link and delete each separate link for every occurrence in July and every occurrence in August. Hover over any occurrence for office hours, click Delete, and now tell Angel whether you just want to delete that one occurrence or all occurrences or all unmodified occurrences. Let's delete all occurrences. Click OK, and our office hours for August have disappeared. If we navigate back to July by clicking Previous, all our office hours are gone for July too. The last thing I want to show you is how to put a content link into a calendar event. Let's edit the makeup test. Hover our cursor, click Edit. Let's put a content link in here. In other words, I want students to be able to link directly to that makeup test, which is an online test in Lessons. I click this Insert Content Link button. I click Map, and I click Lessons, and I choose which item in Lessons I want to link to. In a real course, you may have dozens and dozens of things that appear here, and you may have folders that you have to open. Test 1 is my makeup test, so I'm going to click it, and it is now a link. I'm going to save this. If either you or a student hovers over this makeup test link, clicks the test 1 link, they will go directly to the test. You or your students can also simply click the makeup test link and click the link in this window that opens and go directly to the test. Remember, to edit or delete calendar events, you simply hover your cursor over the event, click Edit or Delete. And that's all there is to adding manual events to your calendar.